This is game week 25 predictions. This week we're going to have 11 games because of the Everton-Liverpool game being postponed weeks ago. Last week I got 4 points, taking me to a total of 139 points, which is not great at all. And we're going to kick off with Everton versus Liverpool. Everton, they beat Leicester last week in the Prem very comfortably. They won the game within 20 seconds because that's when they scored their first goal. 3 of their goals came through very similar situations. A deep line ball, which broke Leicester's back line, and then Decore or Beto would just get the ball and then drive through and score. And for Liverpool, they beat Bournemouth. It wasn't comfortable. They did win 2-0, but the pen was lucky, or it was soft pen to give. And then Salah's goal, very vintage Salah, cut in, left foot, accuracy in the top far post or corner. And I don't know why they don't know how to stop that. Just don't let him get on his left foot. It's quite simple, but it happens over and over and over, and which led to Liverpool winning. Liverpool also beat Spurs in the Carabao Cup very comfortably, 4-0 I believe it was at the end. Yeah, they just smacked them about. Everton do have a chance in this game. It's a Merseyside derby, but it's Liverpool in the end of the day. They're just too strong right now. It's going to be close. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Liverpool. Next up is Brighton versus Chelsea. Brighton getting smacked 7-0. I don't know what happened to Brighton. They just folded to Forest. I think the game was just way too open for them. They like to play a little bit more condensed. And just the constant counters from Forest just was the end of them. And honestly, I think there's questions being asked about Herzler, if this is the guy to take this team to the next step. I don't think he is at this point. He could turn it around by the end of the season, but right now it's not looking good for him. Then we have Chelsea, who beat West Ham. Colwell with a disastrous back pass. I think Colwell is so overrated. Disastrous back pass here to Bowen, and which led to their first goal. And Chelsea honestly had more chances that they finally converted. That second goal was own goal, but still a goal at the end of the day, and gave them their 3 points. These two teams are facing off in the FA Cup, but I'm not going to be recording this after that, so I don't know what happened in that game. But for this game, Brighton, I just don't see anything from them at the moment. And Chelsea have won another game. I know they barely win as well right now, recently. I'm still going to give it to Chelsea. I'm going to go for 2-0 win to Chelsea. Next up is Leicester versus Arsenal. Leicester got smacked by Everton, like I said, 4-0. And then they are also out of the FA Cup through United. Was a controversial pen from Maguire, but they're still out. So it's not looking good for Leicester. And then Arsenal absolutely exposed my team. They abused us 5-1. But the good news, or at least for me, is that Arsenal are also out of the Carabao Cup, losing 2-0 again to Newcastle. I loved that game, every second of it. I loved it. But Arsenal are now out of both the cup games, meaning they're going to try a lot harder in the Prem and just hope that Liverpool slip up somewhere along the line. This week could be one of those weeks, but it's just all about hope now for Arsenal. This game should be easy for Arsenal. I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to Arsenal. Next is West Ham versus Brentford. West Ham, they fought very well against Chelsea. Just that own goal just really took away a point from them. And then there's Brentford, who were disastrous. How do you lose to Spurs in this form at home? That makes no sense. That first goal they conceded, that defender, I forget who it was, wasn't even looking at the ball, hit him in the back and it went in. Like, that's some disastrous defending. For this game, West Ham at home, Brentford are not good away. West Ham are finding their footing under Potter. This should be a win for West Ham, I believe. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to West Ham. Next up is Southampton versus Bournemouth. Southampton taking points away from Ipswich, dragging Ipswich with them. Southampton are out of it, but they just don't want to let go of Ipswich, taking 3 points away from them. And then there's Bournemouth, who gave it a go against Liverpool. Honestly, could have had some goals. Tavernier, I believe, missed a shot, and then as well as Clivert, open net. Should have put that away, but I do want to give a shout out to Bournemouth center backs. I thought they played very well. Serbani and Dean Huijsen. I think they are a lovely duo. But for this game, should be straightforward. 3-0 to Bournemouth. Villa versus Ipswich is next. Villa, how the hell do you lose to Wolves 2-0? I don't get it. Wolves are in awful form. I just don't get it. Watkins is injured now. They are really in need of a Duran right now. I don't get that sell. I don't get it. And people are bigging up their transfer window, saying it was one of the best in the league. I think it was pretty shit. You let go of Duran, one of the best up and coming youngsters in the world right now, to bring in 3 rejects in Asensio, Malen, and Rashford. Rashford, so unmotivated. He looks like his mind is not in it. Asensio hasn't touched a ball in 2 years, and Malen has fallen off a cliff really this season. And then they also brought in disaster class. How are people saying this is a good window? And then there's Ipswich, who lost the game. They should have won, should have pushed away from Southampton, but Southampton were hanging on to their ankles and wouldn't let them go, and they stay right where they're at. They could have gone up a little bit, but they lost. For this game, Villa versus Ipswich, Villa aren't the best right now, but Ipswich just showed me they are in awful form. They got smacked by City and Liverpool, and now they're losing to Southampton. They're going to lose this one as well, unless Villa somehow surprise me again. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Villa. Then there's City versus Newcastle. City, worst performance I've seen all season. I felt horrible at the end of the game. Yeah. There's 2 guys I want to call out, Foden and Ortega. Foden, that was awful, bro. We were on a comeback. We could have possibly had a comeback, and immediately you gave them their second goal, and then you gave the ball away 2 other times immediately after that one. That was horrendous. He needed to get yanked out the pitch right there and then. And then Ortega wants to be Ederson so bad, but he's just stupid. He's just stupid. I don't know how he has fallen off this hard. He was one of the best backup goalies, but now I don't want him in the club. The next couple of games we're gonna have are gonna be the end of us. We have Newcastle, Liverpool, Madrid twice, Forest. We're done for. We barely beat Leighton Orient in the FA Cup. Nico Gonzalez, our Rodri replacement, got injured within 20 minutes. Our luck is insane. We're gonna suffer these couple 2 months now. And then for Newcastle, unlucky result against Fulham. They hit the crossbar twice. They could have won. That Tonali shot, I think that could have been goal of the season. Honestly, I'm in love with how Tonali plays. He doesn't stop running. He's just a big force. I honestly want it at City. Also, Newcastle beating Arsenal 2-0 once again, going to the final for the Carabao Cup. They're going to be hungry for that. But they have to play us first, and I think they're going to absolutely abuse us. I'm going to go 4-1 to Newcastle. Next up is Fulham versus Forest. Fulham beating Newcastle, like I said. They were just really efficient with their shots. Silva really great with his subs, but putting in Pereira and Muniz, who connected for a goal. And they really needed that win or that performance after that United game, which was just a bad watch. And then there's Forest, who got a win 7-0 after losing to Bournemouth 5-0. The Prem does not make sense. It was a back and forth game in the first half, which meant a lot of counters for Forest, and they just fed off of that, which Herzler saw. So I think he stopped trying to allow counters for them. But then they scored 4 in the second half. I am honestly double downing on the top 4 for Forest. I think they will be getting top 4. They're just too good. I don't see them slowing down. So many other players did well this game. Gibbs White, really underrated. Wood getting a hat trick. Ilanga getting a hat trick of assists. Danilo coming back from injury and put a performance. I wanted him for the Rodri replacement, but he got injured at the same time. But yeah, for this game, Forest versus Fulham, or the other way around, Fulham versus Forest. Forest is still gonna win this one. Fulham are a good team, but it's Forest. They're scary right now. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Forest. Crystal versus Everton is next. Everton's second game, but we'll start with Crystal, who beat United. I knew they'd win, but United are just too hard to, predict at the moment. So I just went for a 0-0. But Mateta continues his scoring form. He is now at 10 goals. I think he's gotten like majority of his goals within the last month or so. So he's doing really well. And then Everton, who I've already spoken about. For this game, I'm gonna go. It's gonna be very tight. Both managers are doing well with their teams right now. I'm gonna go for a 2-2 draw. And then we have Liverpool versus Wolves. Liverpool's second game. I already spoke about Liverpool. As for Wolves, they beat Villa. Don't understand how. They beat Villa 2-0, and then Cunha resigns. I don't understand that either. How did Cunha resign? You should just waited for the summer. And he's resigned for like 4 years, was it? I don't get it. But yeah, Wolves won't be surprising me this week. It's Liverpool. Very comfortable. 3-1. Wolves do get a goal. Cunha. Let's say Cunha gets a goal. And then the last game of the game week, we have Spurs versus United. 2 wild cards. Don't know what they're going to do. Spurs getting a miracle win against Brentford. They should have got smacked away. Awful form. But somehow they pulled it through. Sarr's goal was pretty good. Son put him through. Sarr did the rest, put it through the keeper's legs for the second goal and for the 3 points. And as for United, they had some chances, but they just could not finish. They really do need a striker. I don't even remember who was playing striker this game. That's how bad their strikers are. But United do continue their FA Cup run through that Maguire goal, which should have been caught offsides, but they'll take it. And as for the scoreline, it's so unpredictable. I don't even think any scoreline is bad to say, but I'm gonna go for a 2-1 win to United. And those are my predictions. Tell me what you think. Leave a like, subscribe, and thank you for watching.